production. Okay, let's begin the session. Okay, so production is the function of labor and capital that we have discussed so many times. Where if you fix the one input, say capital, that production function is termed as short run. Okay, in short run, the capital used in the production process is fixed, whereas in long run both can be changed. So under this theory, short run theory, we have been discussed law of variable proportion. Okay, also known as law of variable proportion, also known as law of law of return to factor, and also known as, there are three names, and also known as law of diminishing return. Law of diminishing return. Okay, so there are three names by which we have understood the short run production function. If you remember, short run production function says that production first increases with increasing rate, and then increases at diminishing rate, and then there is a negative return. So production is divided into three parts. Okay, so production increases at which rate? At increasing rate first. This is the stage 1. Then production increases at diminishing rate. Increases at diminishing rate. And then production increases, production don't increase, production give negative return. So up to this point, up to the maximum point, production goes through two journey. There are two journey of production. The first journey is at increasing rate, and the second is diminishing rate. So as you see, the when you have a factory system, you all are working in that system where you have a fixed assets, land, machines, okay, and buildings. So there are fixed system. You have put in variable inputs like labor, raw material. Okay, so you put in the variable inputs and then you do some production. So initially, if there is one people working for the big asset, working under the big capital, so that one people is able to do some production, but that is very less. As the team member increases in that production process, more and more return the company, the organization gets. Okay, so it increases first at increasing rate. But what will happen if you increase so much variable input that the team work become the chaos, and that teamwork leads to fall in productivity. Okay, and because of that, up to certain level, if you increases the labor inputs, there will be an increase at a diminishing rate. The production will increase at diminishing rate. And if further you increase the labor inputs, if you further increase the labor inputs, the last you will get the negative return. So in this zone, the right side of this red line, what I have made, say this green area, this blue area, at this zone, no entrepreneur or a owner of a firm want to go. No one want to have a negative return. Okay, so this is the case what we are discussing at a three stage. Say stage 1, say stage 2, and this is say stage 3. So no one want to work in a stage 3. So stage 3 is not, you can say, this is not feasible, because if owner or a company founds that we are about to enter into the stage 3, they stop the hiring L. They stop increasing L. Okay. So, and this kind of say when they stop hiring L, it means these people, these L, these factor L, which remain unemployed, due to this part, which remain unemployed, are known as disguised unemployment. Disguised unemployment. बिहार का केस यही है केस. When in a field, agricultural field, they have labor inputs, they put labor inputs, but up to certain numbers they don't require labor inputs. With the available field they are able to maximize. मेरी आवाज आ रही है? Yes sir, आ रही है. Okay, so with the available labor input they are able to maximize their production. So if they are able to maximize production, for example, if there is 1 acre of land and the maximum capacity of land is to give 500 quintal of say wheat, so if they are able to achieve that, then why they will hire more labor? Okay, because there are so many laborers in labor market in Bihar. So what will happen? They will don't give them employment, so they will migrate to Punjab, to Madhya Pradesh, to Maharashtra for job, to Gujarat. So these people which are disguised because of the over availability of laborers in Bihar, they move and migrate to other state. Like I am the disguised unemployed people of education sector in Jharkhand and Bihar. So I don't require there, so I am here. So at this point no production process want to enter, so they work in these two areas. Now the question for discussion is, in which stage the firm should operate, say stage 1 in this area or stage 2 in this area. What do you all say? Let's have your thought. First stage sir. Second stage sir. Okay, so if you can give your reasoning, why should one work in first or why should one work in second stage?
सब बना लो.
Sir, first stage is basically where production is increasing in mode.
Okay. Okay, so it is very lucrative to give answer that stage 1 is more reliable stage, or but one thing we need to understand, if you ये तो बहुत गंदा हो गया ग्राफ, मैं इधर बनाता हूँ. See, कैसा बनाऊं? So if you see, this is the output stage, this is the output axis, y-axis, and this is the labor axis. So if you stop at this point or any point before this point, okay, say I am showing it through yellow line, okay, it is not visible, pink line. Okay, so if you stop anywhere at this point, so you will be able to produce say Q1 or say Q2 or say Q3. Okay, so you will able to use up to Q3. But if you work in stage 2, you will be able to maximize, that I am showing with the green line, you will be able to maximize your output production. And every entrepreneur want to use their fixed assets or say K to the fullest. Every entrepreneur want to use K properly, efficiently and fully. And because if you work in stage 1, you will be able, you are actually doing underutilization of K. So from the increasing rate or the diminishing rate perspective, this is what we are mathematically derived, that marginal productivity will be less and marginal productivity will say marginal productivity is say increasing and marginal productivity is decreasing. But definitely at the end of the day, the owner of a company want to maximize production. If the capacity of a machine, if the capacity of land is to give 500 quintal of wheat, why a farmer stop at say 350 or say 300 quintal of wheat? So in this capitalistic world, every entrepreneur want to exploit their not only labor but also their capital. And because of this, the ideal stage of production becomes stage 2, or this is also known as economic stage of production. Economic stage of production. Which stage? Stage 2. And in stage 3, no one wants to go there. Stage 1, underutilization of K. Stage 2, economic stage of the production, where the owner is able to, where the farmer is able to, where the entrepreneur is able to maximize their output. So this is all about short term. So we have actually discussed the complete part of short term. Now let's begin the long run. Just I will give you the summary of what we have discussed so far. So if you see, Acha, before going to long run, let's see, before going to long run, in short run production process, you will also encounter the numerical in your terminal examination. So that numerical would be look something like this. Say Q is equal to 6L square minus 0.2 L cube. Say something like this. Okay. So if you see any equation of production, this is Q is the equation of production. So remember class, if you see any equation in the terms of Q, so this is the production function, number 1. Okay, now on the right hand side, if there is only one factor, that is L, there is no K in the equation. So by looking into this equation, you must understand that this equation belongs to which production function? Short run production function. Because in short run, the capital is fixed. Because the capital is fixed, there is no input, or there is no say notation of capital in the production function equation. Okay, so remember this, if you look a production function with a one variable, that is L, so you must term it as a short run production function. Whereas in long run production function numerical, you will see both labor and capital as an input, say 2K plus 3L, or say K to the power K square, say K square L cube, or say 2L cube K to the 2L cube K. So these all are the long run production function, where in the equation you will see K as well as the input L. Okay, so these are the long run production function and these are the short run production function. Okay, so now in exam you will get 10 marks, you will get a numerical of 10 marks in for short run production function, and you will get a numerical of 10 marks for long run production function. I think in midterm I have asked this question. I don't remember exactly. So if you need to do this, from where you can do practice, so I am giving you page number, do practice from there. What happened? So this is law of variable proportion. The stage of production, which stage is to produce. There is an explanation of all three stages, and then the explanation the stage of operation. Now write down a question in your question bank, that in which stage or which stage is known as economic stage of production and why. So the answer is given in page number 400. Which stage is the economic stage of production and why? So the answer is given in page number 4. So this paragraph will be your answer. This part is your answer concerning 10 marks, the stage of operation. So it is given which stage is the stage where a rational producer will seek to produce. A rational producer will never choose to produce in stage 3 because the marginal productivity of the labor is negative, whereas stage 1 marginal productivity of a fixed factor is negative. Means fixed factor is still able to give you more production. So why to stop at stage 1? So that is given in this paragraph. So keep this as an answer to the question given in the question bank. Now let's jump to the numerical part. So you will see here numerical number 2, page number 405. You will see numerical number 2, page number 405. The question is given that Q is the function, Q is the equation given 10L minus 0.5 L square, and you need to find out the optimum amount of labor used if the objective of firm is to maximize profit. So from here you can calculate the value of L. So do some practice, and the similar numerical will come in your exam. Question number 12 in the question for review is also the same how I ask question in exam. Page number 407, question number 12. Page number 407, question number 12. So do this. Okay. Now then we have started let me remember. If anyone can say we have discussed isocont or not? Isocont, isocost.
Isocont we discussed.
We have discussed these many things. Okay, great. So before starting long run production function, we have discussed a sort of producer's equilibrium. Producer's equilibrium with the help of isocont and isocost. Okay, so if you look into this, if you look into this, we have discussed this isocont. Say this is isocont, and say this is isocost. Okay, so this is the point of equilibrium. So if a producer need to produce, so at what level of labor and capital need to be used to maximize production? So that is the question where isocont and isocost give us answers. So this is isocost AB and this is isocont. So this is the point of equilibrium. This is the point of equilibrium. This gives us answer that producer should use say K1 level of capital and L1 level of labor to maximize production. So that is we have discussed in last few classes. So what is the condition of equilibrium? You can see at point E. You can see at point E, isocost behave as a tangent to isocont. Yes, class. If you can see this, isocost behave as a tangent. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Sai Gopal ji.
Actually, sir, it is my first class now, so I don't know what studied in previous classes. So if you will start with some example or some
No
basic.
worry, no worry. See, Sai Gopalji, if you are able to look that yes, isocont touches isocost like a tangent, or isocost touch isocont as a tangent. This is isocost line, okay, gray line, and red line is red curve is isocont IQ. I have written this IQ. Okay, this is IQ. Okay, and isocost is represented as AB. So line AB is tangent to isocost isocont. Yes, no, at this point. इसको
But
tangent.
sir, I want to know how that graph has been done. Means with example like A and B you have mentioned, it's a decline
Okay,
curve.
okay.
Huh.
Okay, for that you need to have some extra class that we will discuss. Otherwise, this lecture will go there and there. So
Yes, sir.
let's have this point. If we are able to look, yes, isocost is a straight line which is tangent to isocont. In that case, the case of equilibrium is that slope, because tangent means slope of isocont here is equal to slope of isocost. Okay, and from our study, if you look in, we will discuss in extra class. So from our study, we know that the slope of isocont is mpl upon mpk, and the slope of isocost is w upon r. So this is the case of producer's equilibrium. This is the case of producer's equilibrium. Okay, so that we have discussed before jumping into the long run equilibrium. Now moving to long run, the law is known as law of return to scale. Law is known as law of return to scale, and this is very easy. One we can say that in a long run process, a firm move by three say directions. Initially, firm see increasing return to scale. What they see? Increasing return to scale, increasing return to scale. Every company, small or big, every business, small or big, experience increasing return to scale, and that is the only reason they expand over the period of time. If the business is not expanding, so business will die somehow in a year or two. So every business which flourish in last 5 year, 10 year, so definitely that business experienced IRS, increasing return to scale. It means whatever the labor and capital inputs they utilize in the production process, they get more of return, they get more of return, they get more of return, and that is why they are facing increasing return to scale. As simple as that. So the expansion process of business uh, is only because of IRS. Okay, and the next part is constant return to scale. When a business become big, it faces somehow constant return to scale. Means if they are using whatever they are increasing labor and capital, they are getting output same. And further, if business become a giant business, then firm starts to experience decreasing return to scale. Decreasing return to scale. Okay, means because of the giant nature of a business, the mismanagement, coordination and control leads to diminishing return to scale. We have discussed this in last class. I remember this. So when a CEO get a big, handsome and fat salary, they are supposed to take organization in IRS or CRS, not into the DRS. They are supposed to prevent organization to enter into the stage of diminishing return to scale. Okay, so IRS and CRS is the journey of any company wants to have. No one wants to have DRS journey. The RCOM, the company belongs to Anil Ambani. Anil Ambani. started to experience DRS, mismanagement, the not having a proper control over the services, over the operations, over the distribution. Because of not having that proper control, the company enters into the DRS. And what happens with the company in late 2010? The company collapsed, as we all know. So if any company fall into DRS, it it is the beginning of the disaster about to happen with the company, and later in his life the company will collapse and dilute. So every company want to be in IRS or CRS. The company running, say, Hindustan Unilever, the company is Unilever actually. The operation in India is known as Hindustan Unilever. The operation in Pakistan is known as Pakistan Unilever. So the company is Unilever. So Unilever is operating their business since last 120 years, or more I can say 130 years. So definitely company have seen the IRS phase during late 80s, late 70s, late 60s, and then companies facing CRS and IRS both. If they do some innovation, upgradation in their product, they can again they can see the IRS phase. But companies somewhere between IRS and CRS nowadays, what will happen if companies stop any kind of innovation or modification in their product? What will happen? The company fall into the DRS. So any company running from last many years, 100 years or 50 years or 200 years, it is only because the company is facing IRS and CRS. So the responsibility of CEO, managing director, and these many people are to prevent organization to enter into the DRS. Okay, so related numerical, if you see related numerical, we will discuss. I think I have given homework also last time before Diwali. I must say we have discussed this part. So the numerical will look something like this. Say if Q is equal to say 6L square K cube. So let's identify return to scale. Identify return to scale. So that identification identification process is very simple. If Q is equal to say A L to the power alpha, K to the power beta. So if you add the power of labor and capital, and that addition is greater than 1, then you can say this belongs to IRS. If the power is equal to 1, you can call it CRS, and if the power is less than 1, you can call it DRS. Okay. So this is all about the production. Clear, class? Yes. And related numerical you need to do given in the page number. See there. See, this is the information given in page number 421, how to identify the return to scale. 421, write it down. Page number 421, you will get the information how to identify return to scale. Okay, now numerical, related numerical you can see here in page number return to scale and the numerical. Okay, again this information is given page number 421. 34, how to identify return to scale. Okay. See in page number 446. From page number 446, you will see the numerical problem on return to scale. So you need to do this part. Okay, we have discussed in last class and given homework of same. So do this part and you will get the numerical of 10 marks to identify the return to scale. Like this, problem number 3, you will get two production functions A and B, and you have to identify return to scale um, with the proof. So this is the proof how to identify. Okay, so by this method you need to do this. Now let's jump into the next part, that is cost. Okay, so अभी तक जो हमने देखा सुना, that is all a recap of the last 2-3 episodes. Now we will start the fresh episode today. Cost. The cost chapter you will get after this part, this production, say 514. I think cost also we have started in class. Let me know.
No, sir.
Not started. Okay, let's do it now then. Yes, cost analysis, chapter 21, page number 482, cost. So the part cost in theory divided into two parts. One is known as concepts of cost and the other is known as theories of cost. Okay, concepts of cost and theories of cost. So if you see concepts of cost, there are many. Let's name the few. Say opportunity cost, the very important cost used in every field, used in every aspect of our life. Opportunity cost. Then there is explicit cost, also known as accounting cost. Then there is implicit cost, also known as imputed cost. Then there is economic cost, which is the sum total of explicit cost and implicit cost. Then there is sunk cost, also known as historical cost. Then there is social cost. So there are many such concepts of cost. Out of so many, there are few that we need to discuss in this class are listed in front of you. So let's begin with the very important opportunity cost. So what is opportunity cost? The statement is very simple that we can use in any aspect of life. Opportunity cost is the cost to achieve, to grab the next best alternative. Next best alternative. Whatever the cost you pay to grab the next opportunity, to grab the next alternative, that cost is known as opportunity cost. For example, आप अगर जॉब छोड़कर इस वक्त या घर का काम छोड़कर इस वक्त मेरे साथ क्लासरूम में बैठे हैं, so to grab this alternative, this education or this knowledge journey of your knowledge journey, you are choosing this one, you are choosing the class. So when you are choosing the class, you are sacrificing something. Yes, you are sacrificing something. So that sacrifice is the cost to attend this class. Say another example, मैं आज छुट्टी ले लेता कि आज मेरे सर में बहुत दर्द है, मैं नहीं पढ़ा पाऊंगा, मुझे छुट्टी चाहिए, और इसके लिए मेरी सैलरी कट जाती। एग्जाम्पल के लिए ले लेते हैं, एक दिन की मेरी सैलरी कट जाती, 1 डे सैलरी। क्यों? मेरे को इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया का टेस्ट मैच का फर्स्ट डे देखना था आज। इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया थर्ड टेस्ट मैच, कांटे का टक्कर है, 1-1 से बराबरी है, मेरे को देखना है मैच, सो मैंने आज छुट्टी ले ली। So to grab this opportunity, to grab this alternative, I have sacrificed my salary of 1 day. I have sacrificed my salary of 1 day. So the cost, the opportunity cost of to watch India versus Australia day 1 is the 1 day of salary. Okay, class. So this concept you can use in any prospect of your life, where you see you are doing something, at the same time you are sacrificing something every time, and that sacrifice, when you are sacrificing something, that is the cost to grab the next best alternative. Now the question is whether what we are achieving, that is best in nature, that is best in nature. Do we know that actually this is the best in nature? So yes, as we can say, we all are rational human being. We all are rational. We all are rational. Rational means विवेकशील। आप कैसे व्यक्ति हैं? एक विवेकशील व्यक्ति। विवेक मतलब बुद्धि, बुद्धि से भरे हुए व्यक्ति हैं। Means when you are utilizing your brain, you are rational decision maker. So whatever you are choosing, actually the best out of your thinking, actually you are choosing the best one as you think this is the best one. Example, अब आप क्लास कर रहे हैं, अब मैं अभी बीबीए एमबीए की क्लास को अगर पढ़ाता हूं यहाँ पर ऑफलाइन, तो कुछ बच्चे नहीं आए क्लास में, वो कैंटीन में बैठे, तो आई ऑलवेज से इफ यू आर नॉट प्रेजेंट इन क्लास, well, good, it is very much acceptable to me, very much acceptable. But the question is, if you are not in class, just make sure you are at the better place to utilize your time. मैं अगर मेरी क्लास को छोड़ रहा हूं तो शायद मैं कोई और बेहतर काम कर रहा हूं, अपस्किल कर रहा हूं अपने आप को, कहीं और ज्यादा कुछ सीख रहा हूं, तो मुझे कोई आपत्ति नहीं है, आप मेरी क्लास में मत आइए। So students say, sir, we are at canteen. So now I say, from my perspective, this is the not a best alternative to sacrifice your class to sit in the canteen. But the student says, sir, actually this is the best alternative that I personally believe, as per my rational thinking. मैं बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेट था, 3 क्लासेस लगातार हो चुके थे, मुझे और नहीं बर्दाश्त होता, मैंने अपने माइंड को फ्रेश करने के लिए मैं कैंटीन में बैठा, और चौथी क्लास थी आपकी, मैंने छोड़ दिया। So from that person perspective, to sit in the canteen and to not attend the class is the best possible alternative. So the definition itself says that whatever you do is the best thing you can do as per your rational decision behavior. So if you are doing the best out of everything, then whatever you are sacrificing by not doing that, that is the cost to attend something best. Okay, so by this way you can see anything, you can in your daily life also you can see you have so much of opportunity cost to do many things. You are doing your doing your day and night shift in the company. You are sacrificing uh, good time with your family. You are not going to leave. You are not going for long leave. You are from last say 1 year. You have not been with your family in any vacation or in a holiday, just to work with the company, and you think this is the best. So the opportunity cost is the happiness of your family, the time with your family, the sacrifice you have done. All such are the cost to work in the company and to get salary. So you can calculate, you can subjectively calculate anything in your daily life where you can see the concept of opportunity cost. Similarly, in business world, now say if I say to my father, uh, uh, see, I want to leave this job. Okay, so I want to leave this job and I want to start my own business. Now if I am earning say x salary, x amount of salary here, x amount of salary here, and let's start my business, and there I get a y income which is actually the very less than x. So what my father say, ठीक ठाक काम कर रहा था, छोड़ छाड़ कर आ गया, घर बैठ गया, क्या कमा रहे हो तुम इससे अच्छा तो सैलरी था, you are getting very less in your business. So what he is actually saying to me that opportunity cost देखो अपना, आपका opportunity cost बहुत बड़ा है, उस opportunity cost को छोड़कर आप छोटे से चीज में अपने आप को मतलब लगा रहे हैं आप. So what he is trying to say is that at least earn that much amount, at least earn that much amount in your business, then from this point of time you can say this, yes, I will flourish in future. So at least earn this much amount in your business. So opportunity cost must be, now the next concept is opportunity cost must be less than whatever you gain. Your gain will be more. You should have a gain which should be more in nature, and that is why we are saying the best alternative, we are grabbing the best alternative, because we want to have less cost and to earn more of something. 10 रुपए का डेयरी मिल्क आप अपने लिए खरीद कर कब लास्ट टाइम खाया था? अपने लिए गए दुकान में 10 रुपए का डेयरी मिल्क खरीदा, 20 रुपए का डेयरी मिल्क और खाए लास्ट टाइम? लेट मी नो. शायद इस हफ्ते में
4 से 5 महीने पहले,
4 से 5 महीने पहले, या वो भी साईं गोपाल जी बड़ा अच्छी बात कहे आप, बट एक्चुअली हम लोग अब जिस एज में आ गए हम लोग ऐसा खरीद के खाते नहीं, बट ठीक है हमने खाया 4 महीने पहले, बहुत बड़ी बात. सो वी आर वेरी रैशनल टू स्पेंड ₹20. क्यों खर्च करे 10 रुपए, क्यों खर्च करे और वो डेयरी मिल्क खाएं, और ऐसा मेरा मन नहीं है. सो आई डोंट थिंक the gain of dairy milk is best and the cost is ₹10. We don't think, but at the same time आपने अपने बच्चे को हो सकता है अभी कल दोपहर को दिलाया हो, कल शाम को दिलाया हो, वो बच्चा जिद करता है पापा पापा मुझे 10 मुझे डेयरी मिल्क चाहिए, वो 10-20 नहीं जानता, उसको तो डेयरी मिल्क चाहिए, तो आपने उसको कल खिलाया. So the happiness of your children is the gain, and the cost is ₹10. So always you want to pay cost which should be less and the gain should be more. In a similar fashion, opportunity cost is calculated in every aspect of your life, could be calculated in every aspect of your life. Okay, so I think this much of explanation is sufficient. For more detailing, to make notes, you can see this part, opportunity cost, given in page number 483, 484. यहाँ पे explanation है, आप इससे यहाँ से लिख सकते. Now the next is At 486 you can see historical cost. So let's begin with the historical cost. So we have done with the opportunity cost. Now let's begin with the historical cost. Now the historical cost or sunk cost, as you can see in explanation also, sunk cost ये रेड बोल्ड लाइन में देखिए आप, रेड बोल्ड लाइन में देखिए, sunk cost are those expenditure that cannot be recovered. So आपको यहां से समझना होगा देयर इज अ इंपॉर्टेंट डिफरेंस बिटवीन द अप्रोच ऑफ इकोनॉमिस्ट एंड अप्रोच ऑफ अकाउंटेंट. अकाउंटेंट और अर्थशास्त्री के बीच में एक डिफरेंस है. क्या डिफरेंस है दोनों के बीच में देखें. इफ देयर इज समथिंग से फिक्स्ड कैपिटल इज देयर, अकाउंटेंट will record it in the book of accounts, but economists see it as a sunk cost, because if that fixed, से कुछ मशीन रखी हुई है, पुरानी भंगार की मशीन, रेट लगाओ, अकाउंटेंट के लिए वो भंगार की भी कीमत लगाते हैं ना, वो डेप्रिसिएशन लगाने के बाद उसको बुक ऑफ अकाउंट्स में रिकॉर्ड करते हैं. बट इकोनॉमिस्ट, इफ दैट भंगार काइंड ऑफ machine is not appropriate in the current production process, if that is not relevant in the current production process, if that is not going to change anything in the current production process, then economist will consider it as a sunk cost, as a historical cost, means the cost which cannot be recovered. रिकवर से मतलब ये नहीं भंगार बेच के जो पैसा है उसको रिकवरी कहेंगे, नहीं, वो रिकवरी नहीं है. उस मशीन की वर्थ, उस मशीन की प्रोडक्टिविटी अब रिकवर नहीं होगा. रिकवर का मतलब यहाँ ये है, अकाउंटेंट की नजर से तो 10 लाख का मशीन था, अब लोहे के दाम में बिक जाएगा. 50 लाख का मशीन था, 50 लाख का मशीन लोहे के दाम में नहीं आया था. टेक्नोलॉजी, इनोवेटिव मशीन, उसकी वजह से आया था. भंगार के दाम में बेचेंगे तो लोहे की कीमत से बिक जाएगा 10-20 हजार में, 50 हजार में. सो दैट इज नॉट अ रिकवरी, दैट इज नॉट द रिकवरी ऑफ कॉस्ट. अकाउंटेंट की नजर में दैट इज अ रिकवरी ऑफ कॉस्ट. सेल ऑफ स्क्रैप, और स्क्रैप सेल करने के बाद उसको अकाउंट्स में लिख देंगे कि इतने पैसे आए भंगार बेच के. लेकिन इकोनॉमिस्ट जब डिसीजन मेकिंग लेते, क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है उस भंगार से हमारे करंट प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस में? अगर पड़ रहा है तो बिल्कुल उसको कंसीडर करेंगे, अगर नहीं पड़ रहा है तो उसको हम बिल्कुल भी कंसीडर नहीं करेंगे. और ऐसे कॉस्ट को हिस्टोरिकल कॉस्ट या संक कॉस्ट कहा गया है. अब आगे मैं बताता हूं. नाउ एग्जांपल लीजिए. रिगार्डिंग द ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट incurred on durable capital goods such as machine, buildings, the accountant take historical cost of these capital goods, that is the price at which they were originally purchased, and a given percentage of the original price is taken as a depreciation, which is charged to current cost of production per year. However, economists consider the historical cost as a sunk cost, which is irrelevant to the current cost of production and therefore cannot be the basis of decision making with regard to production and pricing of commodity. See this. क्या कह रहे हैं ये कह रहे हैं हमने एक प्रोडक्शन किया, हमने प्रोडक्शन किया से 1000 यूनिट. अब इस 1000 यूनिट में when we are producing these many things, for the calculation of taxations, फॉर द कैलकुलेशन ऑफ टैक्सेशन, बुक ऑफ अकाउंट्स में ये सारी चीजें होती है. डेप्रिसिएशन माइनस करो, इंटरेस्ट माइनस करो. बट इकोनॉमिस्ट कंसीडर कि दीज आर जस्ट अ कैलकुलेशन बिफोर पेइंग द टैक्स, बट एक्चुअली दीज आर नॉट एनीथिंग which should impact the current cost of production, which should impact the current decisions. और इसीलिए इस तरह के कॉस्ट को, एक बार मशीन खरीदा, आपके फैक्ट्री में आके वो मशीन लग गया, अब वो बन चुका है हिस्टोरिकल कॉस्ट, संक कॉस्ट. मींस इसको दूसरे शब्दों में वो कहते हैं इकोनॉमिस्ट, बायगॉन्स आर बायगॉन्स, जो बीत गई सो बात गई, जो चली गई सो चली गई, बायगॉन्स आर बायगॉन्स। सो दीज आर दैट काइंड ऑफ कॉस्ट। इसको थोड़ा और आगे आप पढ़ेंगे। द इकोनॉमिस्ट अडॉप्ट द प्रिंसिपल दैट बायगॉन्स आर बायगॉन्स एंड कंसीडर द करंट अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट ऑफ दीज कैपिटल गुड्स आफ्टर दे हैव बीन एक्वायर्ड दैट इज रेलेवेंट फॉर डिसीजन मेकिंग इन द करंट पीरियड। If the capital goods can be put to an alternative use or can be let out to others, the earning in the next best alternative or the rental value of the machine, if they are hired by others, would constitute the opportunity cost of these capital goods and could be counted by the economist as a part of current cost of production. However, if the durable goods, especially specialized equipment such as machine, has no alternative use, अगर उसका कोई इस्तेमाल नहीं हो पा रहा है, their opportunity cost will be zero. An economist would not include them in the current cost of production. उसको current cost of production में include नहीं करना है, despite their depreciation during a year. depreciation हो रहा है, depreciation is the cost, लेकिन ये सिर्फ टैक्स कैलकुलेशन के लिए रहने दीजिए, इसको करंट कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन में इस कॉस्ट को मत जोड़िए। It may however be noted that conventional accounting method of including depreciation charge in the current cost of production may be useful for other purpose, for instance for determining income tax liability, but economists look at things from the point of view of opportunity cost which affect the decision making process. Thus, when determining the rental value of specialized capital equipment, economists consider its opportunity cost and ignore its historical price. उसकी प्राइस से उसको कोई लेना देना नहीं। उस वक्त वो मशीन क्या कर सकता है, वो भंगार से आप क्या इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं तो इस्तेमाल कर लीजिए, आप अगर उसको इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते तो उसके स्क्रैप वैल्यू को कॉस्ट कह के आप, या डिप्रिसिएशन को कॉस्ट कह के करंट कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन में मत जोड़िए, ऐसा कहना है। अब उसके आगे अंतर डिफरेंस और आपको देखने को मिलेगा। नाउ वी आर प्रोसीडिंग टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट विच इज एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट एंड इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट। सो हम इनको एक साथ करते हैं चलते चलते। नाउ एज यू सी, एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज अकाउंटिंग कॉस्ट, मीन्स एनी कॉस्ट which can be recorded in the book of accounts, any cost which can be recorded in the book of accounts. All such cost could be termed as explicit cost or the accounting cost. ठीक है, बुक ऑफ अकाउंट्स में अगर रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं, मैंने सामान बेचा, मैंने सामान खरीदा, मैंने मदन को दिया, मैंने सुरेश से लिया, मैंने मशीन लेकर आए, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन चार्जेस लगे, सैलरी पेमेंट किया, बिजली बिल पे किया, बिल्डिंग का मेंटेनेंस खर्च किया, जो भी ऐसे खर्चे जो डायरेक्ट खर्चे, कैसे खर्चे, डायरेक्ट खर्चे, डायरेक्ट, इन सारे कॉस्ट को आप कहाँ रखेंगे, बुक ऑफ अकाउंट्स में। मतलब ये सारे कॉस्ट क्या कहलाएंगे, एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट। Whereas implicit cost is the cost which is not direct but indirect, which cannot be recorded in the book of accounts. Book of accounts में उसको रिकॉर्ड करने का कोई बहुत अच्छा विधि है नहीं हमारे पास, बुक ऑफ अकाउंट्स में हम डाल नहीं सकते, लेकिन वो इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट है, इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट है, और इसको कंपनी बहुत ध्यान रखती है। नाउ इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट क्या क्या है, एक आपने अपना बिजनेस शुरू किया, आपने एक नमकीन बनाने का बिजनेस शुरू किया, अपने ही घर के एक कमरे में आपने छोटी सी मशीन डाली और उसमें आप नमकीन बना रहे हैं और पैकेजिंग कर रहे हैं, बेच रहे हैं। नाउ यू आर यूजिंग दैट रूम, वन रूम, यू आर यूजिंग योरसेल्फ। सो आप अपने बुक ऑफ अकाउंट्स में इनकी जानकारी आप दे न दें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, आप क्योंकि आप डायरेक्ट कोई ट्रांजैक्शन नहीं कर रहे हैं, आप अपने आप को कोई किराया नहीं दे रहे हैं, अपने आप को कोई किराया नहीं दे रहे, रेंट नहीं दे रहे, अपने आप को कोई यहाँ पे फिक्स सैलरी नहीं दे रहे, तो आपने कुछ भी नहीं जोड़ा इसके लिए। बट यू आर यूजिंग योर रूम विच इज दिस कॉस्ट विच यू आर नॉट इंक्लूडिंग, बट आपके फैमिली मेंबर इसको सेक्रीफाइस कर रहे हैं, इस कमरे को, ये इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट है। आप अपने आप को उसमें झोंक रहे हैं, अपने बिजनेस में 24 घंटे अपने आप को, और उसके लिए अपने आप को कोई फिक्स सैलरी नहीं दे रहे, आपका मेहनत भी इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट है, आपका मेहनत भी इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट है। यहाँ पे आप ये कर सकते हैं कि फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने एक्स सैलरी में मेरा जॉब छोड़ा था, तो इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट क्या होगा, तो कम से कम एक्स सैलरी तो होगा कि मैं यहाँ पर अपने कंपनी में जाता काम करता, वो मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ, घर में मैं नमकीन बनाने का बिजनेस कर रहा हूँ, तो कम से कम जो मुझे मेरा इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट की वैल्यू है, मेरी इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट है, वो एक्स अमाउंट है, इस एक्स अमाउंट को छोड़कर मैं ये काम कर रहा हूँ। सो इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट तो यहाँ भी आप देखेंगे अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट का हस्तक्षेप है। तो इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट इज ऑल सच कॉस्ट which indirect in nature and which cannot be recorded in the book of accounts. All such costs are the implicit cost. All such costs are the implicit cost. Now, you can see this. Let me read it out. The accounting cost or actual contractual cash payment which the firm make to other factory owners for purchasing or hiring the various factors are known as explicit cost. The normal return on money capital invested by the entrepreneur and the wages or salary for his services and the opportunity cost of other factors of the entrepreneur himself own and employ them in the firm are known as implicit cost. क्या बोला उसने? entrepreneur जो अपने आप को entrepreneur and the wage or salary for his service अपने सर्विस के लिए and the opportunity cost of other factors of entrepreneur. other factor मतलब वो कमरा जो जिसमें वो बिजनेस कर रहा है, अगर उसको किराए पर चलाया होता तो अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट क्या होता? सो ये सारे कॉस्ट जो एंटरप्रेन्योर अपना टाइम सेक्रीफाइस कर रहा है, अपने अपना एक घर का से अपनी जमीन सेक्रीफाइस कर रहा है, मे बी इन फ्यूचर उस धीरे धीरे उसको कॉस्ट के नाम पे रिकवर कर लेगा, बट इनिशियली जो ये सारी चीजें वो फैक्टर को लगा रहा है, ये सारी चीजें हैं इम्प्लिसिट और इम्प्यूटेड कॉस्ट। ठीक है, तो अकाउंटिंग कॉस्ट बुक ऑफ अकाउंट्स क्या देखता है? अच्छा, अभी मैं इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट पर और प्रकाश डालूंगा, उसको देखिएगा। नाउ सी अकाउंटिंग कॉस्ट तो बहुत ही सिंपल है।
इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट को हम बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स में कुछ फैक्टर को तो डाल सकते हैं ना?
हाँ, जिसको डाल देंगे वो नहीं रहेगा इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट।
नहीं, जैसे कि जैसे मैं अपने घर का ही मैं कर रहा हूँ कुछ फैक्ट्री, जस्ट एग्जांपल, तो घर को तो मैं शो कर सकता हूँ ना एज अ रेंट अपने आप को दिखा के।
देखिए आप यही मैंने कहा, आप ये जो भी बुक ऑफ अकाउंट्स में रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं फॉर द टैक्स पर्पस कर रहे हैं, टैक्सेशन पर्पस कर रहे हैं या कॉस्टिंग दिखा रहे हैं, बट रियल लाइफ सिनेरियो में एक्चुअली कोई ट्रांजैक्शन नहीं है। मतलब आप अपने आप को ऐसा नहीं दाहिने हाथ से पैसा दे रहे हैं 4,000 रुपए और बाएं हाथ से रिसीव कर रहे हैं, आप ऐसा नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो इसीलिए हम इन फैक्टर्स को जो एंटरप्रेन्योर के अपने फैक्टर्स हैं, इन फैक्टर्स को हम लोग इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट के कैटेगरी में रखते हैं, बिकॉज बुक ऑफ अकाउंट्स में अगर आप दिखाते भी हैं तो वो डायरेक्ट नेचर का नहीं है, वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ इस पर्पज से कि मेरे टैक्सेशन में, मेरे जीएसटी के लाइबिलिटी में कुछ डिफरेंस आ जाए, इस पर्पज से। तो इकोनॉमिस्ट जिस नजर से इसको देखता है वो नजर कौन सा है, वो नजर मैं आपको बताऊं। इकोनॉमिस्ट इसको देखता है किस नजर से कि हर चीज में ये दो चीजें हैं, एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट और इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट। अकाउंट्स सिर्फ डायरेक्ट नेचर के कॉस्ट को देखता है, और जो चीजें डेप्रिसिएशन हो गया या बाकी चीजें जो आप कह रहे हैं, रेंट टू वन सेल्फ अपने आप को दे रहे हैं, दैट इज ऑल द पार्ट ऑफ नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ डायरेक्ट ट्रांजेक्शंस बट इनडायरेक्ट ट्रांजेक्शंस, और वो आप कर रहे हैं टैक्स लाइबिलिटी को में डिफरेंस लाने के लिए। ओके, so economic cost is the sum total of accounting as well as imputed cost. दोनों को देखते हैं, जबकि अकाउंट सिर्फ एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट को देखता है। अब यहाँ पे एक चीज और मैं बोलूं, फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने क्या किया, क्लासरूम में भरी क्लासरूम में ऑफलाइन जब पढ़ा रहा हूँ, मैंने एक बच्चे को खड़े करके डांट दिया और वो बहुत डिप्रेशन में चला गया, उसने मेरे ऊपर केस कर दिया। जज ने बोला कि इसको 5 लाख रुपए की जुर्माना दीजिए। तो ये इस अमाउंट तक कैसे पहुंचे, इस अमाउंट तक कैसे पहुंचे? तो उन्होंने एक्सप्लिसिट नेचर में आपकी वजह से स्कूल कॉलेज नहीं गए तो उस 1 महीने की फीस इसकी बेकार हो गई, है ना, फीस बेकार हो गई। तो ये एक्सप्लिसिट इन नेचर है कि ठीक है, ये डायरेक्टली नोन है कि अगर फीस आपका 6 महीने का 60,000 रुपए है तो 1 महीने का 10,000 रुपए है। ये एक्सप्लिसिट इन नेचर है ना, डायरेक्ट है, नोन है। लेकिन वहीं पर इम्प्लिसिट इन नेचर क्या है? मेंटल पीस। मेंटल पीस आपकी वजह से ये फैमिली में घुलना मिलना बंद कर दिया, लोगों से बातचीत कम हो गई, सुसाइडल थॉट्स आने लगे, बहुत डिप्रेशन में चला गया बच्चा, उसकी भी तो कोई कॉस्टिंग है, उसकी भी तो कुछ कॉस्टिंग है। सो इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट है ये। डायरेक्टली हम उसके मेंटल पीस को नहीं रिकवर कर रहे हैं, बट इम्प्लिसिट तरीके से हम कैलकुलेट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि क्या खोया उसने, और इस तरह से जज एक अमाउंट पर